just got to do what they
maintain their plane. Yeah, maintain their play, and then I think they'll be fine.
I think the big thing is dragons.
All right,
too.
you guys ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I think it depends on like what's the first 2 dragons you're willing to take or willing to fight for.
Yeah.
All right. Let us know when you're going. Oh, we're going?
Oh, we are? Cool.
Actually?
I think
okay. Welcome, guys. We're just having a little chat here. Welcome to the finals of the EGL League of Legends circuit. First split. And we got FN versus EGL. FN's going to be on red side. I'm Corey, Doge, joined with
Simeon, Hmong Dude.
And Brett, Mega Man Zero.
Yeah, we got PTC's mid laner making an appearance this week. So mid laners better show up, or we're gonna sick them on you.
No Morellos, no Morellos.
Yeah, we're just having our Morellos conversation. So, so we got FN haven't dropped a game yet this year. Looking really good, having really good macro, good micro. They're going to be playing with their original lineup. That's not going to have any subs this week, I believe, for game 1.
Right.
And then on the EGL side, they're going to be having a sub 80 carry in for Vindy. We've seen him on support, and it is I forgot his name already.
It's like XX Dragon.
Yeah, XS Dragon 74 something. I don't know.
Yeah, so we saw him on support. He looked really good. He's going to be playing in
Cryptic's building Morello.
80 carry. Cryptic is not going to build Morello. I'm building only Morellos. Oh, that'll be a little bit of a spooky. Hopefully they don't have more than one Conqueror or something.
Right.
But yeah, so we got the sub 80 carry in. I'm going to see if that makes impact. Yeah. Maybe they'll be able to play through that bottom lane. We will probably see the Swain ban drop since that was kind of like a Vindy special. Yep. Mm-hmm. Everyone was spooked of this Swain after having a throw game, but he looked really good on it. So Swain is still pretty good support, I think. That's his only viable lane in my opinion, but that is going to free up a ban. So being on the red side, you can kind of see with a lot of the pro teams having their playoffs, you can really have a good look at the meta. Yeah. One champion that I think is just absolutely nuts is Lucian right now. We see him top, mid, paired with like an AP jungler. We have Evelynn, we have Lilia, we have a lot of these AP junglers that are really strong right now. And with
seeing
Lucian,
Evelynn is very surprising in this meta. Just because like she's so squishy, you either wait for 6 or she needs really help from other lanes just to get ahead early.
Yeah,
like,
she's kind of useless pre-6 until she gets her invisibility. But once she gets that invisibility,
a lot of pressure on the map.
Yeah, it's like if you don't see her, you can't split push a lane, you can't push out, and that's why I really am not a fan of Evelynn and when she's good in like organized play, because she just introduces this like factor where it's like, oh, I can't push this lane out because we don't know where Evelynn is, and it's kind of like a restraint. And when she is really strong, and she's one of those champions where when she gets ahead, she just runs away with games. Right. She just like dashes in, ult, kills like 2 people, and then it's like, oh, well, the team fight's over. And then when paired with that Lucian in the solo lane, we've seen FN playing the Corki mid a lot. So Lucian is kind of like the same.
They like the Corki Lucian flex kind of in there.
So with Lucian being like really high priority power right now, maybe teams won't even play it. They've been blocking their spectate on their script, so I can't get in there and see what everyone's playing anymore.
They don't want you to be sharing all their secrets. That's what it is.
Yeah, so they want me just to be clueless, talk about some random champions. But I think Lucian, mainly in the mid lane, I think he's okay in the top lane, but if you fall behind in the top lane, you can get punished a lot more by like picks like Wukong set, where if you don't run away with the lane, eventually they just run at you and you can't do anything. And mid lane, it's a lot more like burst mages, and that's kind of like the role he feels. So it fits compositions much better when he's in the mid lane because he can fill that role.
Right, and we know Cryptic likes playing the Galio. Lucian's a pretty good counter pick.
That was like the original Galio counter was Lucian, and now Lucian's like gotten buffed like 3 patches in a row, like a little bit range on Q. Now his double autos both do full damage.
Crit,
and benefit from crit. So definitely a big pick. And it gives mid prio. I think he's like the best level 2 champion in the game. So it allows junglers, even though we haven't seen a lot of aggressive jungle play, we've seen a lot of passive, just horizontal jungling. If someone wants to, they can get early invade or double crab. Double crab is very underrated on this
in this league.
In this circuit, like they kind of just handshake, like, oh, we'll see you at 6. We'll just play around each other and avoid instead of like looking to use your advantage or use your picks.
Oh yeah, and that's what I like to see more is to get that prio in the river for both scuttles early because like that gives you already a lead.
Yeah, if you get double scuttles, you're like a level up for the rest of the game until like level 11. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Another AP jungler that can fit into that niche is Karthus. We've seen him kind of pop back up. I don't remember if he got nerfed on this patch or is it next patch, but he got nerfed a little bit to bring him back to.
Sure.
Oh yes.
But he just clears so fast. If you're really good at Karthus, you can like clear the whole jungle before 3 minutes, and it's like, yeah, that's not balanced. And then the other AP jungler we kind of had a little chat about was Lilia.
Yeah.
Last time I was on the cast, I was completely crap talking her, saying how bad she felt. She did no damage, but as we've seen pro players really just loving her. She power farms really strong. Putting people to sleep for 2.5, 3 seconds or whatever it is just an obnoxious ability. Yep. And just bringing that pressure to fights is just really strong. And so AP junglers are kind of on the rise. We've seen Rek'Sai, Jarvan.
The Gragas coming in from Demon Ruler and Jig and Jag and some of these players.
Didn't even think about that, but we've seen a lot of like Jarvan Rek'Sai handshakes, and it's like that's so like 5-6 weeks ago. We got to get on the AP jungler hype train, and then Hecarim in LEC.
Yeah, he's popped up.
He is absolutely oppressive. If he gets ahead, he just runs in, and there's nothing you can really do. So
can't CC his ult when he hops on the back line, so it's very annoying to deal with if you're a mage or AD carry. So
and then after he finishes his Triforce, he just builds like tanky and does a lot of damage, and he's just I like playing Hecarim. He's fun, run around fast,
trample people over.
Yeah, you get to be a horse. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we have FN on red side, so they're going to be having counter pick. They've been traditionally using that for either a flex or mid counter. We've seen Bearson on pretty much tank duty.
Right.
The whole
the Shen Malphite are very blind pickable too, so it's very easy to just pick those up and run with it.
I don't think Malphite has a bad matchup.
Yeah.
I think like Nasus is a bad matchup and Maokai, but like you're totally fine.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to counter him now with all the bruisers that are so popular.
Yeah, and even if like we do see like Wukong, Malphite's the answer to Wukong. So if you just blind pick it, Shen is kind of like the lane dominant tank who can 1v1 anyone early. He has the global
pressure of his ult.
Yeah, global pressure, which really plays into the macro of FN. That's kind of like their focal point where they look really good playing around those dragons. We talk about it every single week they're here.
That's going to be huge this series. I think whoever can get that dragon control is just going to kind of run with it.
Yeah, and dragon control is so easy with Shen because it's like, oh, just let me know if you need me to ult. I'll join the party. They have to blow TP, and then I get lane prio, TP advantage, and you just run from there. So those are two big picks for Bearson. Gilio, he looked really good on set. We've seen him on kind of these bruisers, so kind of scary for that Malphite pick who we've seen get out of control. And was that against PTC, I think? Maybe?
There was a couple of times, with the I think they ran the Melf Ori Jarvan against us or something
and
like that.
Malphite got like 8 kills and he had like 900 armor.
They had a lot of engage.
And it was just... Yeah, and engage wins games, and especially in like game 1, you want to be able to start a fight. You want to get that 1-0 lead. It's just so huge, get ahead, play ahead. So if you can just get engaged, start fights, fight on your own terms, and not wait for the enemy to engage on you, I think that's just so valuable. And Malphite is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Gilio will pull out that Sylas skin. He likes it into the Malphite Shen kind of stuff, so we'll see if he uses that.
I didn't even think about, but yeah, Sylas kind of does Malphite all better than Malphite, and Shen, because he gets out the AP benefits in Malphite can go AP, but we probably are just going to see straight tank. Yep. But the only thing with that, it would probably be Fleet Footwork Sylas, and Malphite just kind of throws his Q, chunks him out. It's definitely not like the easiest lane, but Sylas is there for the mid-late game because he scales super hard. So another pick, Corki. I think Corki is extremely good in especially organized play, like
Cryptic
having package.
Likes to default to that when some of those other mids are banned out.
He's playing Bill Morello's on Corki.
Hopefully not.
That's spooky.
I haven't seen that yet. So
the high damage Corki just. can play kind of safe and make some plays with the package when it comes up.
And it's like hybrid damage, so it's you can plug it into any team comp. It's pretty safe. As long as you're not into like a LeBlanc or Syndra, can be difficult where you have to get that Hex Drinker.
Nuke them out.
And we know for whatever reason a lot of teams like to leave the Syndra up against Burn Victim. I don't know why people aren't putting more priority on the Syndra, but we'll see if that changes for the series.
Yeah, Syndra's really good. Another pick that I just thought about was Senna. We've kind of seen her a little bit in the
little under the
circus.
radar in this.
Yeah, she's under the radar, but she brings that like not even high damage. She just has like such good control. She's like Ashe, but a little bit better.
The sustain, the utility with the shroud and things like that. Just a lot of things you wouldn't really think of if she wasn't in your game.
But if you let her build her souls up, then the damage really does come through. Like
late game, she pops
Deadpool.
off.
I think I've only seen Deadpool. The only one that's played it very well is him, and every time he's on it, he just can't be stopped.
Yeah, and it's kind of gone away from the fasting. It's all farming, Muramana, lethality. Gets super long range once they get the rapid fire cannon, and you can just run people down. Glacial Augment is just absolutely obnoxious on her. And it's really annoying to play against. I know I hate playing against Senna because she just like heals people. You can't kill her. She like goes in her shroud, and you have to like walk next to her to actually touch her.
That's true. That's true.
So that's no fun. But she's a very strong pick, and we've seen her and Ashe kind of rise to the top of the AD carry pool. Now that Aphelios is gutted, thank goodness.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say part of the reason I think Malphite's kind of come up in popularity too. Those low mobility AD carries are going up in popularity, and it's a clear R click kill kind of thing. So
rock solid. He just runs at you and just presses R. But AD carry pool is pretty open. We used to see like Aphelios. Callisto was up there, but we don't really have many Callisto players in the league. And then Ashe has been going up. But other than that, like the power trough of AD carries. Oh, and then Caitlyn is absolutely super strong in lane. But
Riskit loves Ezreal a lot. So
Ezreal. We have like a good mix.
That first rotation, you never know.
Yeah, it's not the clear like 1-2 AD carries that we had for so long, where it was Ezreal, Aphelios. It's really become more of an interesting role where you can play any of the AD carries. You can throw some mages in there. You can really mix it up, and that's what I really like to see. Then it's not like, oh, I bet she's going to pick Ezreal here, which is no fun. And even like Yasuo, stuff like that. I know Riskit isn't the Yasuo player, but it's always available. Who knows? They've been not letting me see what they're doing, so maybe they've been just hard spamming.
Hiding scrims.
Hard spamming Yasuo in their scrims. So
that's what you're hoping for. It's like the Singe.
Yeah. Hey, don't get me too excited here.
Hey, we've had 2 Singe games, and those have both been losses.
Yeah, they got to come over to the academy. I'll show them. I'm just kidding.
I'll send Foxy on over.
Right?
have him DM me, but no, he doesn't want to learn. My Singe win rate's like 48%. He doesn't want to learn from me, trust me. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this draft goes. But I think it's going to be kind of the same. FN, why fix something that isn't broken? They're going to pick team fight comp, tank top, priority mid, and then they're just going to play around dragons and look to out macro, which they've done all year. The real question is EGL going to be able to take a game?
I think they can take a game, but I think it has to get a little chaotic.
Yeah.
So I think if they can throw them off the objectives and maybe get some early fighting going or something unexpected, maybe they can get it going.
Yeah, that's key. I think for EGL to really beat FN, because FN, they like to scale. That's what they like to do. Like that's why you don't see a lot of action top. You don't see a lot of action mid. You don't see a lot of action bot. You don't see any of those skirmishes coming through,
they just
right?
play safe.
So they play safe. So for EGL to really get this win, or even just to throw their game off, they have to fight early. They have to get that early game in.
And they have to start it with the draft. I think they have to pick champions that can get a lead and snowball that. And we've seen that fall flat on their face, but that's if you pick that way and it doesn't work out, that's okay. That's you like pick the Renekton and try and win top lane and play around it. But if like that's also very risky because if you don't get that early lead and go to scaling against a scaling team, it's gonna probably go south.
And that's the thing with that. That's how they have. That's one way that they have to win that game. But if you let FN play their game, let them scale, hit 6, hit 7, hit 12, all that, like no kills in the whole game, they will beat you.
Yeah, their macro is very clean. They have good comms from what we can tell from watching their games. But after that, we're going to go into some predictions. So
I'm going to say 3-1 to FN. I think if EGL can get some engage and some chaos going in those games, they can take one. But, yeah.
That's a good... Simeon?
Oh, man. You know, if I shouldn't go off of what happened their last game, but if I did, I think it's a clean sweep.
I'm going to go with the 3-0 FN as well. I think they complete the whole circuit, not dropping a game.
I like that Bard ban out of
They have to.
EGL. Yeah,
get Bard is
super
so
thick,
good.
The MVP off of those hard engage
playmaking.
Champs,
he's like the playmaking support. I mean, Thresh is always there. You always got the hook champs, but Bard is like the one that can roam. His ultimate just so game changing. And Vinny was telling us before, like he hit 10 Bard ultis in a row or something crazy in the last game, and it was just like. That's so hard to play around when he can just stop the fight, and that really gives them the engage. We kind of talked about if they can start the fight, they have the advantage. So that's one where you just ult on their carry, everyone runs around them, and then you just kill them all, and it's just very good. And then Syndra ban, we talked about that.
It's a good one.
Syndra's very good, very impressive, and then Ornn. Thank goodness, no
like
Ornn duty.
The Cho and the Hecarim too, because Cho can kind of throw objectives into a toss-up, and later in the game he can just take them.
PTC got thrown off of that with the Cho guy. I remember that game.
And the Hecarim dive in the back line. So I like those.
That game.
And then the Morgana ban, so they're probably going to be looking for the Nautilus. I think Nautilus is...
He's so strong.
Yeah, he's probably like the top of the engaging supports. I think Leona's right up there, but Morgana ban signals that they're going to look for some engage from the support role. And just like we were saying, Lucian first pick. That's really bold. Interesting to see. That's a triple flex, so it's top mid, 80 carry. Very flexible. Can kind of pick what matchup it wants to go into and pick around it. So very good. And then that also opens up like the Braum. If they go Lucian Braum, that's kind of like the
Ezreal is coming in.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised. And that's kind of like an answer. If it is Lucian Braum, Ezreal's great 80 carry. You just E out. Throw some Qs, scale, and like we said, FN looking to scale. And Lucian, kind of what we said, they want to pick that super aggressive. And the Shen coming in, tank duty.
I'm honestly amazed they didn't ban the Shen out. Why you
that's
not ban?
Because
Shen
priority,
has been strong.
I feel like.
Yeah, he's kind of like the S tier of tanks, and we've seen him really just rising. And he can duel. So if this is Lucian top, Shen can kind of just, if he lands the taunts, he gets a pretty good trade, and then he drops the W, and then we see There's lovers bot lane.
Senna coming in too.
Or the husband-wife.
Okay, so Urgot's the answer for top lane.
Maybe the only thing worse than Morelos.
It might just be a me and my...
Okay.
I hope it's not Urgot mid. Urgot top's fine. Mid, don't do
Swain
it.
Hover.
And the Swain.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be Swain Senna bot lane. We talked about Swain being very good in the support lane. And if he lands that E, it just pulls him in, and he just brings a lot of burst damage that isn't really like respected by a lot of bot lanes. And then Senna, with their long range, can follow up very easily. And like we see Deadpool saying in Twitch chat, Caitlyn falling all the way through. Wow. We haven't really seen the prio for both these teams having Caitlyn. It was kind of the other two teams.
Yeah. I feel like Deadpool's only the only one who's really been able to pull it off in the games
and look good on it.
Look good on that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to the Senna. I don't know if she's support or going to be ADC, but I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Yeah. And Swain is a triple flex as well. Well, quadruple flex if you're on EGL, I guess. But support mid, and you can even see it in top lane. I don't think the Shen matchup is too fun for him, but we saw a while back when Swain was better. Grasp, you just go top lane, scale, and he's a very good scaling champion if he can get to past those early game blunders. But I fully expect it to be in the support role.
Ballista man doesn't want that in mid again. I know Cryptic got a little surprised by that one.
Yeah.
Victim.
Yes, he did.
And that's a very oppressive lane dominant champion that can go into Lucian, but I feel like Lucian just smacks her.
Yeah,
Lucian
I'm
just has
surprised by that ban as well.
Yeah.
If it's Lucian, this might be a Lucian top planned, so
Yeah, because also there would be no AP on FN side.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of liking their draft better. Maybe they go with the Orianna, something like that, a little safer with the just press R and blow people out.
Yeah, and then we see the Malphite volley bans coming out from FN. So hearing the praises of Malphite, Bearson has been playing it a lot. He's like, I don't want to play against it. It's too strong. So, and this could even be a Shen flex. I don't think it will be, but it is playable in the support role.
Yeah.
Much better in top, but it is playable if they pick like a super hard counter. But the brand hover.
Little shout out to Cryptic. I think he likes that brand.
Does he? So Leona, we see Leona going to be coming in here. So definitely not
Very
Shen
aggressive
support.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they went with the Senna so early because that kind of exposes it's either going the Lucian's either going mid or top at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised they showed their hand on that.
Yeah. So now they're going to get the counter pick. I'm not sure what the counter to Lucian is in mid lane. Maybe a mid lane player can.
Yeah, the Syndra being down, that would have been probably the best matchup. Any mage kind of does okay into it. Yeah, you just got to be careful not to get dashed on and popped.
Not die level 2. That's the key.
Yeah, that press the attack and catch you off guard.
So we're already going. Oh, so what I was gonna say was like the Ori for FN is just a no-brainer in this one, just because he's been playing it a lot lately in the whole circuit. Like Ori for this one just seems like a no-brainer.
Interesting. So that's set jungle then.
Yep. So it is going to be Swain top. Yeah, it's Swain top. It has to be. It's not Braum in the solo lane. Interesting draft coming out of the EGL, I will say.
Through. That's an all-in comp right there.
And that's kind of what they've been playing. Right, the team fight comps, Jarvan goes in with the Shen on top of him. Ori ball goes right in. We got Super Thig on engage.
Yeah,
a lot of engage on their side. And on the other side, it's a lot more like hit and run. You see the Lucian, the Senna. They kind of want to kite back, but then Set also wants to – he's kind of like the counter engage where he can just ult. When Jarvan goes in, Set just grabs him and pulls him out of the fight and kind of protects that back line. But I think it's a much easier team count to play out of FN. They just kind of Shen in the side lane, so they have a great 4-1, and the rest just death ball and just call for Shen ult when they want to fight, and they just go in.
EGL has to bait the Shen ult, though.
Yeah.
They have to bait it in order for Shen to become useless.
Yeah, that Shen Jarvan is devastating when you get dove on the back line.
It's going to be hard.
And the one thing that I always look at when I see Shen's played is the Shen ult being using proactively or reactively.
Right.
So if it's used with Jarvan on the engage, it is so much more like game changing than if it's just being used to like save someone. Sure, that is a use, and sometimes that is the right play. But if it's used as like a second engage, so you can just have the Jarvan and the Shen coming in on a gank, that's so much harder to play around.
Yeah.
And then in the late game, you always want to bring the fight to the global, so you want to see the Set and the Swain scaling into the Shen and then bringing the fight to him, getting the kill, and then they can do whatever they have to do. But
I'm surprised to see that Swain top right now. I didn't know Gilio really played that champion, to be honest. Yeah, and I'm not sure how that matchup goes. I mean, it's ranged into melee, but...
Right.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't get taunted into like a big mini wave or something, it's probably really fine. I'm interested to see the rune choice. Is it going to be like something like Phase Rush? We've seen Phase Rush just be completely obnoxious.
Right.
Or is it going to be the Grasp where he can just like throw autos? He's got a pretty decent auto range. And like
mid-range,
he can just like hit Shen, chunk them out a little bit to dissuade that engage. And how we've seen FM play, Bearson has been pretty much always on weak side. He kind of just plays up there, farms.
He leaves himself
and then,
alone.
Yeah, he just
very individual.
Has a good time. He just hits minions.
Tell me when to teleport. I'll be there.
Call for the TP. I'll be there, and then we'll play. And then because Dragon is what they play around, and it's a great win condition, and it's been working. They haven't lost a game yet, so pick the comp you've been playing all year and roll with it, and see if this is a good answer. If it's not, you probably see it ran back pretty similar comp next game. But if EGL is able to take this win, I think it'll be throw a big wrench into FN's style, because this is a very difficult team comp to pull off, but if they are able to play it successfully, I think it has answers to the FN comp.
Yeah, and we talked about that early game chaos too, and it's being mentioned in the chat. They need to get that early chaos going to mess up their team comp. Otherwise, they're just going to get outscaled and out-engaged on. So.
So Lucian gets that early prio, level 2. Orianna can definitely fight back a little bit later, but early, Lucian can kind of do
pressured.
Yeah, so look for Set to be fighting for these crabs, and that might be exactly where we see some of that chaos come in, is that level 2, level 3. When they're doing some crabs, Lucian pushes it in, Ori can't join, Lucian's there, and then we might have some action.
I'm ready for that level 1 invade on the Braum. So.
Yeah, that's the power of Braum.
Right?
So. Lucian, Braum, and then they're going to have Glacial Augment probably on the Senna, which is very strong. Face breaker from Set. Swain can pull him in after they get stunned. Yeah. Very good level 1, and we've seen FN invade every single game that they've played. They group as 5, either top or bot. They just run in as a team, drop some wards, get some information. EGL could use that to their advantage if they've watched some of their past games or kind of done a little bit of homework. Just be ready and fight them because they have the much better level 1 comp. Leona okay at level 1. Ezreal does have the Q, but it's nowhere compared to Lucian Q, Senna auto.
Right. I like Senna into Ezreal too.
Yeah,
we've played it a few times in scrims like that, but Senna seems like a really good, solid answer to the Ezreal.
And they got the high noon skins, match in there. That's always bonus points. Oh, but they have TPA, Ezreal, and Orianna, so they both mid and 80 carry synergy we're seeing here on the skins. So I didn't get to see all the other skins. That was such a fast loading screen. That's my favorite part. Oh, and we got a nice pause. So they didn't think the 3-minute loading time was fast enough.
Swain went Conqueror this game.
Conqueror. So that's an interesting rune on him.
I think PoE, when he played it, I think he ran the Conqueror.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he ran.
Yeah, I'm sure if it gets off in a team fight, it probably feels really good.
Yeah.
But I just feel like going Grasp in lane just makes it so much better in lane. Sure, you take
especially against tank.
Yeah, against the tank, you have to take the team fight rune or the laning rune.
Right.
Opting for the team fight, which into a team fight comp might help them, but I think playing for laning phase with the Swain top would have been a interesting thing. And I wonder if Vindy slid like the information. Swain's OP, Gilio. Let's play him. But
make them have to ban the Swain.
Ban the Swain.
For me.
Punish the Swain.
If not, pick it.
Emotes coming out.
Yeah, emotes. Quick pause. Not sure what really happened. Probably some connection. But we do see the pings coming out here from EGL. Maybe calling this bluff, like we said, the 5-man invade. FN, 5-man heading topside. Are we going to... Oh, but Leona pulls back, and they're going to be 5-pointing.
And I like to see them doing this early because they need an early snowball like this to get out of control for FN.
Bush.
Yeah. So they are spotted, and Lucian gets the ward, so that's a nice little XP.
Ezreal gets a counter ward in there.
Yeah, EGL kind of doing the FN special, the 5-man, get a ward on red, see where the jungler starts, kind of get an idea of the pathing. Interesting to see how they use it. Are they going to use it smartly? Either getting vertical jungle on the bot side, something along those lines. If Jarvan does start red, maybe try for a 3 buff, something exciting like that. I always look to see if they use their early vision effectively. We've seen FN be able to use their early vision very well and play around it, know the pathing. So they're going to see Jarvan starting here. They should play safe around the 3-minute mark for the level 3 gank.
Yep.
Unless he goes for the level 2 gank.
I like to see the sweeper on the Jarvan too. You notice the set doesn't have that. If he had that, he could maybe sweep that ward out in a couple seconds there.
Yeah.
So they might have an advantage on the vision.
Well, he had enough time to go back and grab it.
Yeah. He's busy doing some sit-ups though. So. And we see Ezreal kind of coming in for a little bit of a...
Just trying to see where they're at.
And he wasn't sure if he was going to commit, but he just throws 1Q, misses, doesn't get that mana flow ban, feels bad.
Yeah, they're pinging the set so they know where it is.
Yeah, so they see he's going topside. I'm not too familiar with set pathing. He doesn't like doing Raptors, but he looks like he's going to go Wolves, Blue, probably the top side to protect this Swain, because if Swain falls behind, it's going to be a rough time for him. But if he gets ahead, it's kind of like that Lucian top into the Shen we were talking about. If he gets ahead, it's very good. But once you fall behind on the range, so Shen can just go at you. It's no fun.
If I'm the Jarvan too, I'm probably looking at that top right now, that's the most immobile carry on their team.
Yep. Yeah, and ganking a Braum center. Oh, but they get level 2 first.
Yeah, the CC is a little hard to gank into. Especially with those real low damage.
Yeah, we see the power of Senna. But we see the flash forward from Super Thig. And
he's ticking to
Ignite. Tick. Yeah. And the dubstep Ignite from Super Thig. But yeah, very good engage. We saw the Jarvan level 2, so even though EGL knew that Jarvan started red, was pathing bot side, he skips the 3rd camp to get the quick level 2 game.
But the ward on red side for Jarvan was not in the best spot too, because you only see red, you don't see where he's going anymore.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's going up or through the mid. You don't know which direction he's going from. So FN had a better ward to see where Set was pathing to. Yeah.
But Set snuck a nice ward on the Raptors. He's gonna take that top scuttle as well. Just trading those.
Trading scuttles, just like we're used to seeing.
Yep. See, I'm amazed by that. So when they saw the Set down there, why not? I mean, the Jarvan, and you already have, like you said, you guys both said Lucian having pressure in mid. Like, you could have fought for that scuttle and come back top.
Yeah, or even just show and be like, hey, Set could be here.
Right.
And he wouldn't lose a ward. We see him pathing towards the bot side anyways. But I guess maybe not one to get engaged on or something like that. So Set just trading, which is fine. Jarvan already gets the kill participation.
Yeah.
So he's already had much more tempo. And that's kind of the story of this matchup of Set versus Jarvan. Jarvan, very good level 2, level 3.
Yeah.
Till level 6. A little bit after, he's still very strong in the ganks, but then kind of falls off and becomes a EQ.
Taking some free damage.
Yeah, Lucian tickling him a little bit.
Tickling him with the shield that he has.
Yeah.
And usually Braum's an answer to the Leo too, but
yeah, and we saw the engage. If Jarvan wasn't there, Leo goes in and they just kind of absorb it and then just turn and bring back the damage.
Yeah, Braum's going to be blocking a lot of that Ezreal damage too with the Q blocks and the ult block and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, and we see the top lane. Bearson having a little bit of a CS lead, but there is a huge wave stacked up for Gilio, so it should even out here.
Cryptic doing a pretty good job landing those Qs on Ori in there.
Yeah, what do you think of Gilio's cheater recall for a second Doran's ring?
That's
all right. He did it on wave 4, which is good.
Yeah, he's got the wave in a good spot.
Yeah, and it was bouncing back, so he got the push. He got a good bounce back. He knew Jarvan was bot side, so I like it. But he's going to be going towards the Rod of Ages, I would assume. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with Swain top builds, but that's pretty much
very nice from EGL to get this.
Yeah, EGL getting the Earth Dragon, which is very good. That's going to slow down Shen's tankiness. It's going to really help out Set. And even Orianna's probably going to have to go Ninja Tabbies into this Lucian, and that extra armor on the Orianna would be just so much more beneficial. So it's very nice. Quick, easy sneak. And that looked very organized, like a planned route. And that's exactly what we like to see from EGL.
It's refreshing to see that on their side.
Yeah, not just autopiloting, just clearing camps, because he does have topside camps up. But going down there, they had a little bit of prio. Not a lot. I mean, Senna Braum isn't like hey, I'm going to be pushing all game lane, but being on the same page to push it in, go to Dragon, not miss any CS. Actually, we see Senna having a nice 11 CS lead here. Riskit is going to catch this wave because it is a cannon wave, so he might lose a minion or two, but
and that's dying to first blood too, and they still have that pressure to go over there.
Yeah, imagine if they didn't, they would really have a nice CS lead. So very good to see from EGL, and really like a kind of a different style than we've seen.
What they used to.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm very surprised they're playing so well coordinated, for lack of a better.
Yeah, especially with like a new player and stuff like that. You're always want to see how cohesive their teamwork is.
I like Gilio's answer to Bearson because I think this is the first time I've seen a top laner actually challenge him up there and not just let Bearson free farm.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of tank
Bearson
v
always gets like ahead of farm on every top laner.
Yep.
So to see this, like, this is.
Yeah, and with that, we've seen tank v tank, and they both just trade, and if he manages waves very well, and that's kind of like the key. No one's going to kill each other in tank v tank, so as long as you just play it right.
Nice invade from FN here.
FN, and Lucian is
very
here.
That's scary.
I don't know if he was not looking there.
we see the shockwave come through, and yeah, Demon Ruler just being ahead on the tempo. We see trade of red buff, so they both knew where they were starting, and they both had the same answer, was to invade, but FN just doing it better because Lucian just face checked 3 people. And that's never a good sign. And like we said, Lucian wants to get ahead. If he falls behind, this Orianna can have much easier time wave clearing, pushing back against him, and then not being afraid of him just dashing in and doing a ton of damage. And he is going for the Blade of the Ruined King build. This is kind of like the less bursty version, but more sustained. Orianna does fight back very well.
Especially with the tier build going into that, so she's going to have a lot of scaling and shielding later.
It's so
very hard to burst her out.
So yeah, if Lucian had that BF sword right now, we could see him fight, but with that death, maybe he only had 900 gold, and that's the nice thing with Lucian is you're very flexible for what you build. And we see Swain ult.
He's going for the one.
It's kind of a flex ult there.
Yeah, he's just showing how cool that looks in that skin. And just kind of a little bit of farming. We see pings coming out on Jarvan. So EGL has knows he's up on top side. See if
so they're going for this rift.
I was gonna say, look to see if Gilio gets caught out by this. We saw him use his R. Jarvan is here. He's coming in. He's pushed.
Oh,
and we see
got the taunt.
Yep, and
he has no ult to help him out.
Jarvan has the flash.
Short flash, is it?
But yeah. And we
nice
saw
answer.
we saw a bunch of pings coming out from blue side though onto the golem, so they knew Jarvan was there.
Right.
And he still wants to get the push in for the recall, but sometimes getting that push in is not worth your life.
Yeah, maybe rotate down to the rift on that.
Well, that's the thing. I was hoping. Yeah.
Wait till it pushes back into your side and farm a little safer.
Yeah, or just get a recall. You have the gold for the catalyst push. Even if you always want to get it into the tower, but it's never worth dying for.
Right.
Correct.
Which, you know, everyone's greeted for, you know, a couple more gold for a pink ward or something. But when you die, it feels really bad. And then we see Lucian on the roam up there to answer and help with the Rift Herald. Orianna's getting plates here. And we see...
She might get 2 plates.
Yeah, we see the scaling comp just really owning the map. And
Drag coming up, too. They're looking to get some vision and pressure on that.
Yep, so they sacrifice first Drag and Rift for, you know, a couple kills. And we see TP coming in here also, and we see Super Thig going in.
Shen with the teleport.
Here on it.
Play.
Yeah, he waits out the flash from the Senna, but Senna actually gets out, and Leona is going into tower, and EGL played that very well to survive.
Without level 6 either on both supports.
That's huge. A lot of summoners blown. Flash on Leo Ez.
And Shen using the TP instead of the ult is interesting. Because, you know, TP has not much longer, because Shen ult's cooldown is super high as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's less than teleport. You can tell how much Shen I play.
Yeah. Looks like FN's going to get that dragon too, so they're kind of back in the driver's seat on objectives.
Yeah, and giving up first dragon isn't the end of the world.
Right.
They want to scale. They knew, hey, Lucian, Senna, Braum is a little bit stronger than us. Early game level 4 or whatever they took it at. Let's just give that one, and we'll take it at 6 when we are stronger. And we see Gilio getting some farm here. He is up 40 CS, so
it's a nice
it's
CS
a very big CS lead. But we see Bearson on the TP, helping out his team secure the Dragon with the pressure in bot lane. But we see Dragon 744 XX.
Yeah.
He's healthy. He's Senna. He heals himself. He's chilling.
You know, we were trying to talk about Dragon. I think he's doing very well.
Yeah, he's looked very clean.
Doing a nice job.
He's survived a lot of this pressure. We've seen Jarvan, Shen attacking that bot lane, and they've absorbed it very well and played around it perfectly. So, I think
arm guard from Ori. Sorry.
No, you're good. Ori gets the arm guard, but I think the Swain is going to be a key in this game with this lead. Is he going to be able to lead it?
Yep.
Or is he going to be able to use his lead and affect the team? We've seen Shen already TP bot, burn some sums. When is Swain going to pull the trigger and make a play? Or is he just really just scaling to answer this team late game, which wouldn't like to see that because we kind of talked about the early pressure. So
nice roam by Leo mid, but it doesn't look like it turns into anything.
And just some trading, and it pops the ult early again, and
I don't know why.
Both these times have been kind of
the fight was being distant.
Might collapse on burn here.
So now it's he's got to be careful now.
Yeah, he's kind of caught out, but
he's in the middle.
And he's on a ward.
3 people.
just kind of running it. But he sidesteps, happy
Very
feet.
nice.
Yeah, but this Swain is strong, like we had just said.
It's 3-2 though.
And we see said he has the superplex, so if he can get on, just
That's
flash, man.
Thinking.
Flash, man. You got it.
If you're an FN fan, you kind of hate to see that because there was really no reason
Very nice
for Burn
follow
to be in
on
that
Cryptic.
river right there.
Yeah, Burn really greedily clearing the ward in between 4 players. Like, oh, you can't
no vision.
do much to me. They saw Lucian was also absent. Set was on the top side. This Swain is very big. He's 111 CS.
He's got his rod already.
Yeah, he's got his rod. He's chilling.
10 minutes.
He picked up a kill, too, so that's only going to snowball it even more. So that was a huge play by EGL to kind of get him back into have some map pressure.
Yeah.
And some more trading on the bot lane here. And, yeah, this Ezreal just doesn't have the damage.
Yeah.
And Ezreal's been good, and he hasn't really been changed that much. But all these other supports or 80 carries are just answering him. Braum gets queued. Oh, Senna just queues him, and he's healed. So
back to full.
Yeah, and they can just disengage so well. So this bot lane pick is very good into the FN bot lane as well. I think this is kind of some late game insurance. When Senna gets her very long range, she does scale very well. Probably even with Ezreal, I would say. So if they can continue this lead and Swain can balloon this into a bigger lead, we see him getting first tower top with the Rift Herald. Use this lead and just push it. Yeah, push it as hard as they can.
Yeah, with this lull in Dragon times, like 2 minutes, I'd like to see Viz go up top and just have some ganks on the Shen. Make it so he can't TP down bot and they can't dive that.
Yeah, because we always see FN look for a pick right before Dragon comes out. So we know that Shen ult is up. He's probably going to look for a proactive play right before so they can get control over this Dragon Pit. We see recalls coming out for this Dragon fight. All 3, Shen, Leona, Ezreal, and Swain's just going to push this in. The charge did go off on that tier 2 top. Gilio does not have TP. It's almost up. So it should be up for Dragon. So if he can just put pressure up here. But we see Leona on the roam.
Ping's top.
Yeah, Ping's top, but
Gilio's playing real risky here.
EGL does have wards here.
TP from Ori coming in deep.
So they really want this Swain, and he has ultimate, and he's strong. He pops his ult. See if he's going to be able to. Yeah, very good rotation. And Gilio actually flashing.
Doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, what was that? Oh, it doesn't matter, but he's
little nerves game 1, but pull it back.
Not sure what that ult was.
See, some of those, I think, if he had a ward, I think it'd be different.
Yeah, so the ward actually expired as Leona was walking up to it. So
very nice answer.
Good answer to get on him.
Yep, and the superplex. And
Shen ult coming in.
Yep,
there we go.
Shen ult burned before Dragon, so this should be EGL's area to control. Gilio up in 7 with teleport.
And they have 4 bot ready for it.
And they got the pick. Ezreal's dead, no sums. Ignite used by Leona. TP used by Orianna. They're kind of just
very good answer.
EGL looking very good. Kind of doing FN plays to FN. FN gets the pick top lane, but EGL just doing it bot lane for the control on the Dragon. Much easier for Swain with TP to get there than Ezreal with no TP.
It's good rift trade here too.
And this should go top lane to help Bearson get caught up. He's still down the 40 CS, and we see Swain working on the Leandries. Boris having a good sail. No Morellos.
We're doing good so far. It's only game 1. There's time.
There's still time. But yeah, and once he builds this Morellos, he's only going to have more easy time dealing with Shen. Shen building HP. Doesn't really like itemizing the Spirit Visage super early, but
Burn may be caught up.
Yeah.
Ult him towards him, but just going to walk away.
Not going in fully. He could pick up Hex Drinker, and then he could have no fear of this Orianna. He could just run in like that all the time, absorb the ult, auto some things with Blade, heal up, and just really push this pressure. Interesting to see if he goes for the Essence Reaver second or if he's going to go a little defensive. He did go for the Zerks with Mountain Drag is kind of interesting, whereas he could have just probably went Merc Treads and been really fine. Because that helps with the Shen taunt, the Orianna matchup, Leona engaging on you. Merc Treads would have been a really good purchase here, I think, for the mid lane Lucian. And FN using the Rift Herald mid, looking to break this tower open to really just help control the map and get some mid lane prio. and this will help for future dragons. Getting pushing mid lane out so deep helps get vision, get map control, all that kind of stuff. All the things Orianna, Jarvan want to do.
Yeah, this isn't going too bad.
No, I think if you're EGL, you're very happy with how this game's going.
Gilio, when he's ahead, too, he does a really good job of pressuring and putting the top on the back foot. So.
Yeah, and as long as they just need to have set play around him if he is going to play super aggressive.
Yeah.
Get some vision. Have your Jarvan set in the area, so if they do send 4, you have a fighting chance. Because I think if he had one teammate there on that 3-man, he turns that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's rough.
And we see Demon Ruler with the EQ flash.
Teleport coming in with the Swain.
And Braum just living so long.
Yeah, no, they didn't even focus the Braum.
Yeah, and Swain just chilling in here.
Yeah.
He didn't get to finish his Morella before that TP, but they just turned it. And Gilio is huge. It doesn't hit anyone with the end of his ultimate, but he lived so long in the middle of their team. He did his job, and now we get to see the power of the Lucian just running people down. And Super Thick kind of caught out. Is Cryptic going to be able to finish him off, or he peels off and he wants more? There's 3 kills available in mid lane. And we see
very nice.
Yeah, they seem like they're off a bit. Like Riskit wasn't even near that fight when they started to go in.
And they went in on the Senna Braum, and we've seen time after time them disengage it so cleanly. And once again, and then they had Swain come in on the TP, and like we said, he's very big right now. And once he gets his Leandries, he's only going to get stronger from this point because of how good of a laning phase he had.
And I just gotta say, Dragon, for going back to Dragon 74, we don't see the Vindy specials, right? So Dragon's doing very well on
a little more control than the
bot. Little more control. That's a good way to say it.
And I love Vindy. I love you, Vindy. Just this change is not too bad. Yeah, this change is not too
bad. Opens. But yeah, I think as a team they've been playing very, very well.
This is surprising. I
feel like FN's pulling the trigger a little too much. They're trying to go in on some of this stuff when they should be scaling
they don't need
it out.
Yeah.
Like the Ori, the Ezreal, they're going to be huge later. Just take the dragons and fight.
Especially with their build path. Ori has a Seraph's arm guard right now. It's not like they have Luden's needlessly large where you can pop someone.
Yeah.
Her ult does good damage, but it's not one shot yet.
Right.
And I know in the LPL, too, we talked about how they're more aggressive. They like to go for that Luden's build on the Ori, the Syndra. They don't like to go the Seraphs.
Correct.
They kind of...
it's much more scaling. They want the skirmishing. Like, these fights with Orianna with Ludens, I think would be a little bit different because then you would be wanting to take those early fights because you want to push that build. But into the Lucian, I think the scaling option's fine, and their team comp. Scale it out, play macro. You have a team that looked a little shaky on macro.
Yeah.
So the build is correct, in my opinion, but the play with the build is a little greedy and a little disrespectful, honestly.
Yeah, and they're only down 3,000 gold. They're still going to be fine later in team fights if they can get there. They just got to be careful not to get caught out before that.
Or go too deep, because that Jarvan, he didn't hit anyone, I don't think. Maybe just a Braum, but
he missed that EQ flash.
Yeah, he tried to EQ flash on the Senna, and he was just short. Not as clean as Solo Mason on the EQ flash.
That was very nice. I seen him do that.
And they're looking for another fight. Demon Ruler running in, Shen ult on top of them, and this is kind of what they wanted to do, but Braum is doing such a good job at blocking all this.
Yes.
And we see Lucian on the flank, and he just assassinates everyone. And man, they just clean ace him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no one lost any health that fight. Holy cow.
Your prediction is looking
very surprising.
I jinxed them.
Surprising.
Wow, I honestly am very surprised. Gladly surprised.
I'm very happy with that Swain pick into the Shen, just because he really stopped the Shen from doing anything.
Yeah, and I wonder if Swain's gonna hit the bans because I don't know if they have an answer for it. With Bearson only playing tanks the entire season. He did play the ones in.
It looks like going on in those fights. It looks very hectic. Ori was in the back line, ulting the Lucian while they were getting dove on the other end.
Yeah, and Cryptic played it very well. He had a really good flank onto the back line, and like we talked about, Lucian being more of a burst mage than the sustained 80 carry damage that you expect from the marksman role. He with his Q double autos, it's wow, he does a lot of damage. So especially when ahead, 3-1-3 scoreline now, he's very strong. He finishes that Essence Reaver, and Infinity Edge is probably becoming next, and it's only going to get more bursty.
Yeah. Right. And The Zonias, I'm not sure about that on Ori. I don't feel like the answer is to go more defensive.
No.
I think you have to be doing more damage in these fights.
That's what they've been missing is the damage. They get a good engage, and then they just aren't able to finish off, and Senna just kind of shrugging off the Senna Qs the whole team, and they're like, oh, we got Ori ulted? Okay.
I'm a fan of the Spellbinder, Leandre's kind of
full AP, just going and blow the team up. And with engage like the taunt on the Shen, the Jarvan guaranteed EQR, you can really set up the ultimate very well.
Guys to get blown up on the back end of EGL,
but we've kind of seen the engage and then no follow up, and that's also Pai has been playing this Braum very well, blocking a lot of the Ezreal and the Orianna damage. So very clean by EGL.
Been using his Braum ults very nicely as well too, just to really delay the fights.
Yeah, and it's a great answer to
really separate
Jarvan.
Them. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, if he's in the front, Jarvan goes in, and he's been pretty much hitting Braum only. Braum just ults him and says, okay, my backline's safe. Have fun with this Swain.
Yeah, Swain wants you to dive on him, so he's not feeling too bad when people are committing to him.
Yeah, that's another reason why this pick is so good.
Yeah, because you have 4 dive. You have like all 3 dive champions. You know, and that's your whole front line.
He just chills, heals himself. Burns him down. I did flame Swain earlier. I'm looking pretty dumb now. Guess what I'm playing?
The right match.
Guess what I'm playing in solo queue later tonight. Look out.
Trying to go on a cryptic and bot.
Yeah, but he just turns on. Oh my goodness.
That's it's a little greedy on his part. He didn't need to do that.
They did burn Leona, Leona, Shen, Ori ult, so they should get this tower. A lot of firepower used by FN there. Kind of, like you said, weird communication with the Shen ult coming in. If Leona's using ult and Orianna's using ult, you probably don't need it, but I thought he was going to die.
To me, I think they feel like they're way farther behind than they are. Like, this is a pretty hard game to come back from, but it's still very possible with the wave clear and everything they have. It shouldn't be that easy for EGL to siege this with the champs they have.
Yeah, we do have Ocean Soul coming up. In 155. I couldn't see
Did you need help?
Yeah, I had to squint. But that's going to be, they're going to have to fight then. I don't think this gap closes until then. It might even increase a little bit. And as long as EGL don't flub, like recall right before it, or that we've seen before where they like had prio and then they just recall right before it spawns and the team runs in and just takes it. As long as that doesn't happen, they should have control over this. And unless Shen can get a good TP flank, I think the team fights are going to go exactly how we've seen them. I don't think they have another avenue for getting in here. So look to see him get a good recall in. It's about a minute. Get some wards, Braum, and yeah. I'm still shocked, honestly.
I was very surprised by this game so far.
This is not the route of play I thought we were going to have. Maybe we're going to have a late one and a nice 5-game. Simeon will sing Silver Scrapes for us.
Like literally. Like I am very, because like I said, you know, I don't want to, base their play off of the last game, but I would have rather seen this on their last game and not just feed in the last game. Like, it would be nice to see consistent games, and that's why I'm so surprised.
Hey, Calvin, can you check Senna's soul count?
And I think champ pools
64.
This game being a
64.
little exposed.
That's
very
pretty
high,
good. Yeah, 4 farming Senna. And another engage here, and yeah, like we kind of said,
it's kind of too tanky.
FN looking to start the fight the same way they have been. We said earlier, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, but it's broke. You're gonna have to take get a flank or something. You can't just go straight ahead into this team. You are just gonna get beat. You just don't have the damage to get through this front line.
Swain has time to go back and teleport in the fight.
Yeah, and look for him to get a good flank. They have some deep wards here. They have the minion wave, but he comes right into the fray, which is totally fine. He doesn't have the hourglass. If he had the hourglass, he could really have a really nice flank here. But I think just front
Leona
to back
gets taken out.
Leona gets hit. Jarvan goes in, but once again, they don't have the damage, but Lucian gets out of the Cataclysm.
Not enough damage, though, either.
Yeah,
so.
we see Set just absorbing everyone, and he's just in here. Double kill from Senna. Set doing Set things, running people down and punching them hard, and Cryptic does go down, but they're going to get the soul here, and they do exactly what they needed. That was like the picture-perfect team fight from EGL.
Yeah.
We saw J4 run in, EQ the front line, try to get to the back line. Lucian dashes out
just
like
not
he
enough
does well.
damage
Yeah,
to
they
get
just
those
didn't have
carries in the back. And
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Orianna going for
but it
the
goes
death
back.
cap.
If she had the Ludens, if she had an early Rabbit on, or even the early Spellbinder, like that would have been a different fight.
A little more burst to get
would have been a really different fight.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what she's like. The engage from EGL isn't that hard. Like they don't have the hard engage that
FN.
They don't.
They're waiting.
So the hourglass is kind of just there.
Correct.
One thing I've noticed from past games too is FN engages somewhat, but they like to sit back and let the other team kind of do something, and they'll counter engage off of that. But this game they've been just going, and it hasn't been working out. For them,
they look, like you said, forced to make a play.
Yeah.
Which at this point they are, but in the mid game they weren't. And the build was interesting by Orianna, and like I said, it's not like it's a terrible build or anything, but you got to play around what you're building.
With the Ezreal too, it's like that guy's scaling up for a long time, and I'm curious if they change that in game 2 because we know Riskit loves to play Ezreal, but if they have an answer like Senna, do they just ban that and go for something else?
Right.
Or do they try to change it up?
Yeah, and the Lucian Prio pick is looking great. I mean, he's been doing the damage. He's been, even though he did fall in that last team fight, he got his full combo off 1.5 times before he went down. So I'm excited to see the damage charts after this, actually, to see how well he did in these team fights. Because in laning phase, he played it kind of passive. We saw him going in a couple times, but never too like reckless. And we see him just start the Baron, and I think this is the right call. Keep your foot on the gas and just keep rolling with it.
Yeah, if FN goes into this, they're probably going to lose this fight anyway, so you might as well bait him in.
Yeah, and we see Swain absorbing all the engage,
damage.
and look at he's just healing. And this is where the Conqueror is very good.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get
team fights.
Yeah, if he doesn't get bursted, he just kind of lives. And we see the Ori ult come in and just
Senna
not enough punch.
Yeah,
Senna hasn't even gotten damaged yet.
No.
And Lucian same. So we see Burn Victim going down. Once again, Riskit wasn't even there.
Right.
A little bit of
and they can end right here.
Yeah.
So.
And the power of Swain was on
huge.
Example there. he stood there, he absorbed the Leona engage, the Leona ult, and he just healed.
Yeah,
he doesn't
I would
even
like
have
to
Spirit
see
Visage.
Demon Ruler go up there a bit more because he doesn't have anything to get away besides Flash, so once you blow that, you can kind of focus that.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to gank the Lucian. The Senna Braum is hard to gank. We saw that kind of go okay, but just because the Ignite, it wasn't really from the Jarvan doing anything down there.
Right.
Yeah, and we saw Swain pushed almost the entire game. Never got punished, and we did say he's kind of like the most immobile. Braum Senna is immobile, but they just heal and can block so much damage that it's hard to. And we see Swain absolutely popped off. Lucian not doing that much damage. I
thought
but
he did a lot more.
Yeah,
damage
he looked
than
like
that.
it looked like he was maybe because he was hitting low target, low
he
HP
put the damage
targets
on the
but-
targets
Right.
he needed to.
Yeah, so he wasn't just hitting tanks, where Swain was just burning down the tanks and just really just pumping out that damage. But man, I think FN really has to rethink what their game plan is and change this draft. Otherwise, they might be in for a rude awakening.
Right.
The first loss for their team the whole entire season. How are they going to react?
Yeah,
we
you got to
haven't
think
seen
of the
them.
mental game too. You don't know what's going on in comms or anything like that.
But that Swain pick, I think that really helped EGL out. It really did.
That was
that Senna answer to the Ezreal too.
Right.
They just won in draft, and they won in the game. They just outplayed them.
Yep.
And I'm interested to see how FN bounce back. Are they gonna tilt and salty run back?
Yep.
I mean, that's the comp we've seen them play all season, and with it not working, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
But we're gonna take a short break here. I think we're gonna roll the interview with Vindy and the league MVP Super Thig. So enjoy that, and we will see you back in just a little bit.
We'll be back.
Hey everyone, this is Commissioner Vindy here with Fire Nation Super Thick. Pleasure to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a little short MVP interview with you. So the first question I want to ask you is, besides voting for yourself, which is totally appropriate, who did you nominate for MVP?
My biggest one I want to nominate was Deadpool. I thought he's been playing very well, probably the best AD carry in the league. And then our team also nominated Mega Man.
Okay.
But that was more of like a group decision.
Sure. So both PTC members. Yeah, Deadpool played pretty well. I nominated him myself, and there's some other people that nommed him as well. Didn't get as many votes as I thought he would, but yeah, definitely slept on. And obviously Mega Man, very strong mid laner. A lot of respect for that guy.
They're both two really consistent players for that team.
Yeah, but you won the MVP nod. Were you expecting that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, sure. There was a lot of talk about you winning. I think most recently your Bard plays stand out as a huge. You had some pop off, almost single-handedly stopping entire plays. So, but you've been very consistent the entire season. So I think there was little doubt to people's mind who would actually win it. So.
Yeah, I pulled the Bard out against THEs for the first time. I was like, all right, this team really improved for the second half of the split.
Yeah, they were
I'm gonna have to pull
monster.
out my big guns.
That's right.
Pulled out my Bard and was just able to show what I got.
That's right. That was crazy. I think you had multiple three-man ultis. So looking forward to season 2. I know FN's going to make some roster changes, and there's also 4 new teams coming in. I believe every single team that's in season 1 is getting some roster changes besides PTC. And then we got 4 new teams coming in, and I know some of those teams have already been scrimming circuit teams. So what are your thoughts on them?
I'm really looking forward to SRC. They have a very similar team comp as we do, where everyone has like very similar play styles, where like when we play bot lane against theirs, it's very even and it can go either way, both like for both sides.
Right.
And it's just a really close match. It's like a coin flip.
Yeah, I believe I'm Gabe and Kabas are their bot lane, and Gabe is a monster with melee like tanks. And that's more your flavor of picks too. We were talking about the Bard earlier, but you much prefer to play Alley, Nautilus, Thresh, stuff like that. So he's gonna challenge you for that champion pool for sure.
Yeah. And another team looking forward is IPT. They've just been really strong.
Yep, local team. Yeah, we faced them in local tournaments. Both of us have on different times.
And they're just going to be the team to beat, probably.
Yeah, probably. I think so. Them and RSH for sure. All right, man. Well, I'm really glad to have you here. We actually made you a trophy. I asked my wife to present you a trophy here, so just going to get that from off stage. Thank you. And this is our Season 1 MVP Super Thick Trophy.
Thanks,
so
man.
You could take that home with you. My wife made that.
Looks great.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love it. That's more like an urn, so Fire Nation's ashes can rest in there.
Yeah.
Yep. And really excited for you and excited to see you in Season 2. So thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
It's been a blast.
For sure. All right. And we're going to game 2. So hopefully, we don't know what the score is right now because we did this earlier, but here comes game 2 and back to the casters.